Morning. Thank you for attending the Board of Works Public Safety meeting at Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. I know for the record we do have a quorum. As a quick reminder, we are live streaming to the whole wide world. So right now we have 4 viewers for Board of Works. Let's not make it go viral. Would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Is there any petitions or comments by citizens who are present? Seeing none, I'd like to make a comment. I think it was our last Board of Works meeting, we reapproved another contract with Make My Move program to relocate out-of-state people to Noblesville for work. And we were mentioned in the Wall Street Journal as one of the largest recipients in that program, and it gave our stats and quoted our mayor, and it's kind of nice to open up the Wall Street Journal and see Noblesville in there. So that program is making a difference, and thought I'd report on that. No other comments. We will move on to approval of the agenda.
I move for approval of the agenda.
Second?
Motion is second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. This morning we have a bid opening for the Noblesville Street Department compactor truck purchase. Jonathan Hughes.
Morning, Board.
Morning.
We have received 2 bids as of the start of this meeting. The first is from Best Equipment Company, Inc. Okay, everything appears to be in order with the bid, including a non-collusion affidavit. The total base bid for 2 compactor trucks minus trade allowance is $305,643.33. And that includes a trade allowance for 2 Peterbilt New Way compactors, and they're giving us a trade allowance of $150,000 for those 2 trades. The second one that we received is from Municipal Equipment, Inc. Their bid also appears to be in order, including a non-collusion affidavit. The base bid total equipment cost for 2 compactor trucks minus trade allowance is $331,500. And they are giving us trade allowance of a total of $100,000 for the 2 Peterbilt pieces of equipment. Those are the only 2 bids that we received. Is there anyone present who knows of any other bids that we should have received? Board, just prior to this meeting, I did receive a request from James Alexander that he review these bids now and then make a recommendation for award at the end of your meeting. So that'd be the motion.
I'll make that motion and also amend the agenda to include item 11, the awarding of the compactor truck.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to the consent agenda, is there a motion to approve as it is presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to new items for discussion. Item 1, board to consider 3-year service agreement with Stryker for preventative maintenance of all EMS stretchers, stair chairs, and powered loads. Division Chief James Mackey. No, it's not.
Morning,
Matt
Board.
Mitchell.
Matt Mitchell, representing the fire department. You've got the C team today. So James is
Yeah.
out, Anson is out, and so it's a really bad day for Noblesville to be live streaming with the C team in place. But what you have in front of you is the 3-year service agreement from Stryker, as you mentioned, for our stair chairs, power loads, and stretchers. So this will be the second time we've entered into a 3-year agreement with Stryker for these services. As you know, all of our EMS, most of our EMS equipment is Stryker, so we have a lot of stuff, and we have been utilizing this 3-year service agreement model for a number of cycles with all of that type of equipment. So we're asking for your consideration, just a little over $19,000 per year for the life of the 3-year agreement. And if
I'd
you have
move-
questions, I will do the best I can.
I'd move to approve the agreement with Stryker for the preventive maintenance of the stretchers, stair chairs, and power loads.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I'll tell James just how easy that was.
Thanks, Matt.
I think it's an important one.
Item 2, board to consider second amendment to the parking management service agreement with Dennison Parking. Sarah Reed.
Good morning.
Morning.
This item is a proposed amendment for the parking management services contract with Dennison Parking. If approved, it will add the Arena at Innovation Mile garage and surface lot to the current contract, which was initially approved by you on September 9, 2021. This contract was also amended in October of 2023 to add Federal Hill Garage and the retail activation lot. The proposed addition of this arena and surface lot would be at a $2,000 a month management fee rate. With regards to functionality, the amendment would be a cost-plus agreement similar to both the downtown Levinson garages and Federal Hill. In that includes the management fee, liability insurance, operating expenses, salaries and wages, taxes and benefits. All of that would be subtracted from revenue. And the operating pro forma would also direct $67,000 of that annual revenue into a capital maintenance sinking fund. An important difference, though, to note with this garage between this one and the 2 downtown garages is that with the volume and variety of events that we have scheduled at the arena and potential future bookings, we have the ability to charge higher rates at this garage based on local market experience and recommendations from Dennison, which helps in relationship to cost recovery and revenue generation goals. Dennison conducted a preliminary budget estimate based on the Hunden economic impact analysis for the arena at Innovation Mile, and there is an expected ramp up from profit in the November range when the G League games start, and other events help stabilize that occupancy. Additionally, shared parking opportunities with future developments in Innovation Mile will help bolster revenue as well. This includes a hotel, mixed-use, office, et cetera. Whatever comes in next, we're encouraging parking share, and this is the first garage. So we would even anticipate some daily revenue at some point in the future. And I failed to invite Dennison to this meeting, full disclosure. So if you have any parking questions, me, Aaron Head possibly, maybe even John Hughes, some of us could pull together and help answer those since I forgot to invite them to this meeting.
The 2 downtown garages are basically unmanned, aren't they?
They man them from the police station. They have an office at the public safety building.
Okay.
So
and the one-
the Levinson garage is almost manned because they're right across the street, but yes, it's
Yes.
on call.
Yeah,
And they do monitor those through their services.
drive around. But at the arena, when we have events, are they projecting additional employees
Yes,
out there?
yes, they have staffing for both taking tickets as well as traffic direction interior to the garage. Once it gets
Okay.
out of the garage, it'll be our public safety team that'll work
Okay,
with Rev. So, and right now, as of the way the contracts are going for both Rev Entertainment and Dennison Parking, they'll work together to set the rates based on the size of the event. I mean,
Sure.
one event may only require 1 or 2 employees where, a big G League game would
Yeah.
require many more.
I was there for the State of the City, and I was amazed at how well it was directed in and out.
Thank you.
I can't imagine it's gonna be like that at events, because that was a lot of people that are directing traffic.
Oh, yeah, they intend to, I mean, they do this for Gamebridge Fieldhouse, so they have the experience locally on emptying buildings.
It was fabulous. You don't need to know anything, you just drive in and they tell you where to go, and
That is how we want it to be.
it was very nice.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
Tell all your Fishers friends how great it is to park at the arena.
I don't have any friends.
I only have a handful, and they're not here today. They might be watching online, I'm not sure.
Yeah, one of the four.
Yes.
Any questions or discussion?
I would move to approve, excuse me, the second amendment to the parking management service agreement with Dennison Parking.
Second?
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank
Thanks,
you very
Aaron.
much.
Item 3, board to consider facade improvement grant for 20 North 9th Street. Aaron Head.
Good morning, Board.
Morning.
Aaron Head, Community Engagement Manager. Before I get to my item, I just wanted to congratulate you, Jack, on your retirement and the sale of your business. This was, you've been such a great steward of our downtown. You've been extremely engaging. Your staff is extremely friendly, and they've also been very supportive of other businesses downtown, events, everything that you guys share online. It's really been a great light in our downtown, and we're excited for your future and for the future of your business. So congratulations on that. So a round of applause for the Jack. Now to my item. Got you buttered
Trying to
up.
butter me up,
That's
huh?
right. So this particular facade improvement grant, it's 20 North 9th Street. More commonly, it's the Noblesville Antiques on the Square. This particular grant is for a project with a total cost of $11,883 with a 50% match, which would be $5,941.50. We do build in a $1,000 contingency in case there's any unknowns as some of those projects occur. There can be things that when you start pulling pieces away, things that you didn't know about when you submitted your grant. Our grant application says once the cost is set, we can't increase your amount for your grant, so we like to build in that contingency to meet any of those unknowns. This particular grant is to replace some deteriorated wood on the storefront, as well as repainting the storefront. It's the same color scheme, so you won't really notice any changes when it's done. It'll just look a lot more fresh. And it'll also include the approach into the building on the outside. There's really some deteriorating brick on that approach where it's becoming, it's not unsafe, but it's getting to that point. So they're going to remove that brick area. It's not historic to the building. It's been put in the 90s at some point. Replace it with some exterior tile, non-slip tile, and that will also be part of this grant application. So this particular item comes to you with a favorable recommendation from the Facade Grant Review Committee, and we look forward to that approval.
Aaron, for the benefit of our 4 viewers, this is 20 North 9th Street, but what is it locally known as? What's the building called?
So I cannot recall the building itself's name,
Yeah.
but the tenant inside the building for decades has been Noblesville Antiques,
Yes.
now known as Noblesville Antiques on the Square.
Okay, thank you.
It's the,
It gives
Essex
everybody a
Brothers
reference.
Hardware Building. Right?
Oh, what?
Essex Brothers,
Oh, you're
Hardware.
going way back.
I can.
We'll stick with the antique store.
I'd move for approval of the facade improvement grant for 20 North 9th.
Second?
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron. Item 4, board to consider temporary closure of 2 parking spaces in front of 20 North 9th Street for facade improvement work. Renee Gully.
Good morning. Morning. I am here to request on behalf of Adam Roton with S&M Painting for 2 parking spaces in front of 20 North 9th Street for the duration of August 18th through September 8th. to complete the wood trim, removing and replacing the outside tile entry for the facade grant. The sidewalk will be accessible for pedestrians and remain ADA compliant during these repairs.
I would move for approval as presented.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve temporary closure of 2 parking spots in front of 20 North 9th Street for facade improvement. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thanks, Renee.
Thank you.
On to item 5, board to consider an update to the city's purchasing policy. Jillian Cook. Should we do a drum roll?
Good morning, Board. It's my pleasure as City Attorney, John Hughes City Attorney, to introduce our legal intern this summer, Jillian Cook. I think you've all met her before, but this is her first chance to present in front of you. Wanted to give you a little update. This is one of the projects we tasked her with the hope of getting it fully to completion before she leaves. She leaves Friday. I'd say we're 95% complete, so we wanted her to go ahead and present it to you so you can ask us questions and engage in the process, and then we'll bring it back to you at a future board meeting for final approval. I'll let Jillian go over the changes that she made, but we're both excited that we had her here. She did a lot of great work for her, and also sad that she's leaving us this week. So Jillian Cook.
Good morning, Board. Today I'm going to be introducing the proposed changes to the 30.09 ordinance purchasing policies, purchasing agency, and agents. So first off, we started with some changes to the definitions. We didn't change anything major. We mostly just added Indiana code citations throughout the definitions to delineate between the state policy and the local policy. We updated the definitions so that they would be consistent with this code and otherwise clean them up. Moving along the purchasing policy, we updated a few things to the purchasing requirements, public works changes. First off, we changed approval for each section under this public works from government body approval to Board of Works body approval. This was in order to eliminate uncertainty amongst overlapping government bodies. Additionally, in the public works changes section, we updated the policy to match a recent Indiana statute that went into effect July 1st, which modified purchasing thresholds from $150,000 to $300,000. For example, this changed routine maintenance purchase amounts from less than $100,000 to less than $300,000. All right, moving along to the next section of purchasing requirements, purchase of supplies and equipment. One of the largest things we did in this category was adding a category for software and leasing. The procedure for this category states that purchases of software and licensing must have pre-approval from the city's IT department. Purchases will then follow the same appropriate procedure and approval as the purchase of supplies and equipment. This was in order to keep software and licensing more regulated throughout the city. All right, next in the purchase of supplies and equipment section, we added language to clarify expectations when using our preferred vendor, Enterprise Fleet Management. This mostly just changed our vehicles and equipment section. For that purchase amount, we added that vehicle purchases over $50,000 shall require 2 additional quotes, along with pricing from the preferred vendor, EFM. We changed vehicle or equipment purchases exceeding $10,000 require approval from the mayor to vehicle or equipment purchases exceeding $20,000 require approval from the mayor. And once again, this was just in order to clarify expectations when using this vendor. Lastly, in the purchase of supplies and equipment section, we increased the maximum department head spending from $10,000 to $20,000 in order to remain relevant with recent department needs and recent Indiana state law. We had a few miscellaneous changes just towards the end of the policy. We added a new category for leasing, which cites Indiana Code 10.311, stating that all leases must be reviewed and approved by the city's legal department prior to approval by the Board of Public Works and Safety. Once again, this is simply just to keep leases more concise and uniform throughout the city. We also added a clause for memorandums of understanding, stating that memorandums of understanding and public purpose grants shall follow the same procedure and approval as outlined in services of this policy. We also added a primary clause for contracts, which states that all contracts must be in the form of agreement approved by the city attorney unless otherwise approved by the city attorney and Board of Public Works and Safety. Department heads should use the form of agreement provided by the city attorney in all negotiations and present red lines of each agreement to the city attorney. This is in order to keep contracts, once again, more uniform throughout the city and allow the city attorney to set the regulations for contract formatting. These amendments overall delineate purchasing authority and simplify the purchasing process as a whole. These amendments address departmental concerns while still upholding the Board of Works as the primary source of purchasing power. Once again, this is the introduction to the proposed changes, and we would like to bring this back to the board around August 26th for recommendation of approval. Thank you so much for your time and careful consideration.
Do we have questions now?
Could you repeat that, please?
I do have a paper if you need to see the more
You have
up
to
close
take a breath
details.
every once in a while.
That's
How long
okay.
did it take you to do this?
Thank you.
How long did it take you to do this?
I started,
Couple days, maybe?
no, I started early May, but I know Lindsay and John have been working on this for years.
AI is amazing.
Yeah, it's a long time coming.
Okay, why did you use green ink?
We felt red was a bit aggressive. We liked green, more calming.
I like that. It's like we're saving something.
Yes,
This is well thought out and put together.
thank you.
Do we, up here on the board, get a pay raise for these new increased responsibilities?
We do, you don't.
No.
No.
Well, since we just got this,
Well, this is under consideration.
yeah,
I would like to just, in all sincerity, thank Lindsay and John and Jillian for all the work. This is very, very important to the city, and I know you guys are putting a lot of work into this. And, it's a fine balance for our directors. When I first started on the board, we didn't even have a consent agenda, and I thought it was nuts. And if some of you were here for one of the meetings, one of the very rare meetings, Jack wasn't here, and I ran the meeting, we approved stuff before people were at the podium, because it was just meaningless stuff. Not meaningless, just we trust you with those decisions. At some point, it switches over to being a good steward for our residents, and so that's the balance. So personally, and I'm only speaking for myself, I have no issue with moving something from 10 to 20. I would ask at some point, and Lindsay, thank you for trying to help me on the front end, it's on those bigger purchases. When I see the 150 to 300,000, and I know a lot of those are just, all we're doing is coming into line with the statute and NDOT and all of these things. But if, at some point, if there's something to summarize, that we're moving a director from having, and again, 10 to 20 means nothing to me in what we see in front of us. But if there's bigger items that can be internally awarded without having this board look at them, we would like to be made very aware of those.
That's a great comment. In general, the statutory changes were just for what has to be bid versus not bid. We can certainly provide you with a nice one-page summary of what those are and what that approval process will look like. Pretty much everything's still going to come to you the same way it does, except for those small director changes from 10 to 20. And then I think the mayor threshold may have gone up a little bit, but we can talk through what those are. It's just really when do we have to do notice bidding versus when we can do invitations for quotes. That's really what the difference is, but I'd be happy to provide you with a summary of that.
Thank you very much.
And we can be more restrictive than the state. We just thought, let's start with aligning with the new state statute that just went into effect, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, have a
I'm going
nice
to
day.
keep this handy for reference, so,
Do we need a?
no, that was just,
We don't need anything. That's, we're gonna.
No,
look at
no
it.
action from the board at this time.
Yeah.
so we'll move on to item 6, board to consider service agreement with BS&A Software LLC for professional and software services. Caitlin Keisner.
Good morning, Board.
Morning.
Caitlin Kestner, Deputy Controller. So before you is a contract with BS&A Software to purchase a subscription to their cloud-based ERP software, as well as the cost to implement the transition from our current software systems to the BS&A integrated system. So currently, OFA and the wastewater utility use several voice system software for various accounting tasks which include key fund, key assets, key payroll, and key utility. These software systems have been used by the city since the early 2000s and frankly haven't received hardly any updates in that time. I'm told they run on DOS, which I had never heard of before I came here. So I can, if you would like to see what it looks like, I can show you. It's quite antiquated.
I started my first computer with the pull cord.
And so along with being rather antiquated, the systems aren't well integrated with each other despite being under the same like software umbrella being hosted, or not hosted actually, hosted by us, but owned by Voice Systems. They don't actually integrate with each other hardly at all. And they don't integrate automatically with OpenGov for reporting and budgeting or with UKG for our payroll and HR. In early 2025, Voice Systems was acquired by BSNA Software, which is a company out of Michigan with a cloud-based ERP software specifically designed for municipalities and counties. As a result of the acquisition, BSNA created a more Indiana-designed and focused software that's still on the cloud, but includes certain things that the State Board of Accounts in Indiana requires. So it's able to cater to those voice customers like ourselves and have what we are required by state statute to have. The ERP software includes modules that would be used by OFA, wastewater utility, HR, and accounting staff throughout all city departments. It's anticipated that this software would replace several systems that the city currently uses, including all of those key software that I mentioned, OpenGov, and the payroll processing portions of UKG, as well as SpendBridge. I think I accidentally left that out of the memo I gave you. The total annual cost of these systems based on the 2026 budget is $196,231, while the annual cost of this BSNA software entirely is only $97,470, which represents savings of approximately 50%.
Repeat that part again.
Sure.
That's savings of 50%.
Yes, along with significant increases in efficiency and effectiveness.
And no more DOS.
And no more DOS. So the VSNA software is significantly more efficient, sophisticated, user-friendly, and robust than the existing voice software. It's also fully integrated with housing in itself, the budgeting and reporting, as well as payroll processing, and it would be integrated with UKG for the HR portions of what people would think encompasses payroll, essentially. In addition, the BSNA software is cloud-based, while the current voice software is actually housed on city servers and cannot effectively be connected to when employees are not hardwired in at their office workstations. Based on the noted cost savings, efficiency gains, and overall quality improvements, I recommend that the Board of Public Works and Safety approve the contract with BSNA software.
I'd move for approval.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to consider service agreement with BSNA Software LLC for professional software services. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Nice
Okay,
job,
we take technology in this area for granted, and I saw on the news this morning that AOL just shut down their dial-up modem service.
Oh,
And they still had, I think, 163,000 subscribers.
He found that right after he got a notice on his DOS that said, "You've got mail."
Yeah. Bing!
I'd like to have that terrible noise as like my ringtone.
Oh. On to item 7, board to consider amendment to agreement with Comcast for additional services at the arena at Innovation Mile. Patrick Harrington.
Good morning, Board.
Morning.
Patrick Harrington, IT Director for the City of Noblesville. In front of you is an item that is an amendment to our previously approved enterprise service agreement that we have with Comcast. This amendment would allow the connection and setup of television services at the beautiful arena at Innovation Mile. This connection enables television services for the arena, enables the city more opportunities for revenue and other future events, as well as allowing for emergency news or radar to be posted if available. I highly recommend that we approve this amendment.
Move for approval of the agreement with Comcast for additional services at the Arena Innovation Mile.
Second?
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you very much.
Big news, item 8, Charlie Elliott is here. Board to consider professional service agreement with Gaylor Electric for electrical update and connection to control panel for irrigation at Fox Prairie Golf Course. Charlie Elliott.
Morning, Board.
Morning.
So, if you'll remember, you already approved the electric panel to be created and installed, and you approved the labor to install that, and those were two separate approvals. This is the final piece of that puzzle. This runs the electric line from the electric panel to the irrigation system so that the two can actually communicate with each other. But because it was a separate work, we bid it out separately.
So if we said no, what would we do?
Well, I think we bid it again. I don't know. I'd ask those two. Yeah.
I guess we better finish it, huh?
Have a lot of grass.
Anybody have any questions?
I'd move for approval of the agreement with Gaylor Electric for the electrical update.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, Charlie. Item 9, board consider payment in lieu of 161st Street right-of-way improvements for Magnolia Ridge section. Justin Hubbard. No, it's not.
Hi, Jim.
Jim Hellman, Engineering Department. Normally, we have bonds on the consent agenda. This one is unique for the fact is Magnolia Ridge posted bonds for due right-of-way improvements. We happen to have it, the city happened to have a resurfacing program in the area. We thought it made sense just to make it one uniform project. So essentially, Magnolia Ridge had provided the city a cash for the actual costs that the city incurred. So we're accepting that cash as payment in lieu and releasing their performance bond.
I'd move for approval of the payment in lieu of the 161st Street right-of-way improvements.
And removal of the bond. Release of the bond.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Item 10, board considered change order number 1, 2, and 3 for small structure replacement on Greenfield Ave over Wheeler Drain Project. Michael Pooch.
Hello, Michael Pouch from the Engineering Department. I'm coming before you today to ask for approval of the change order number 1, 2, and 3 for the small structure replacement over Greenfield and Wheeler. That project is completed. There's still some cleanup work going on, but this is to catch up with items that happened during the construction project and get those accounted for and paid for. The first change order was for an additional right-of-way clearing for utility relocations in 2024. That was done. Utilities started relocating, and then it ran over into 2025. With that being said, the second change order is for the increase of pay rates and everything included with it changing to a new calendar year, and fees that increased for wages and labor was the most of it. And then the third portion was while we were doing our installation of the box culvert out there, the contractor found a county regulated drain that was in the footprint of our new structure that we were installing. With that came the replacement of a section of that drain that was required by the county surveyor's office. The original contract was $577,998.40. This net change order is for $57,871.23, making the full contract price at this time $635,869.63.
So Michael, we had to replace a section of the county's drain because it was in the footprint of where we were putting the new city culvert.
Yes,
in.
when we were removing the old culvert, we did not find it. The new culvert that was installed is larger, and when they installed it, it was at a different skew across the road as well.
the county knew there was a drain tile there, but they didn't know the exact location. As we were digging, we found it. And,
Surprise.
so of course, but when you dig and damage somebody else's utility, it's
Yeah.
our project to fix. So, we did find it, we relocated it, it's 10 foot off of our structure now, the entire run of that structure, so that if we have to do work on that structure again in the future, or if any other construction goes on, we at least know where that is, and we know where our stuff is.
So, I mean, currently now, in today's construction, we know exactly where culverts and stuff are because they're mapped out GIS and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So this is an older drain before we.
This
anybody
was an
kept
older
track.
drain that county had signified as put in 1908. So, and there had been no GIS done for the county for that.
They don't build them like they used to. They
so-
last a long time. We're rebuilding all ours.
So that's, and like I said, through this, they had multiple sinkholes that were appearing prior to us being there. So it was in our best benefit to redo the section under
Yeah.
the road and along where we did the construction. So I would request that favorable approval for these change orders.
Yeah.
Move for approval of the change orders 1, 2, and 3 for the small structure replacement on Greenfield Avenue.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
On to item 11, which would be the award of the bid for the Noblesville Street Department compactor truck purchase. James.
Morning, Board.
Morning.
James Alexander, Fleet Manager, Street Department. We have received 2 bids, and both bidders are here. And I'd like to thank both those guys for being here today. As you know, we extended the bid out, made it a little bit harder on these guys, but also maintain our timeline of October 1st. So really put the pressure on these guys and thank them very much for following through. The first bid we received was from Municipal 331.5. They do meet all of our specifications. The second bid we received from Best Equipment is 305.643. They do miss one of our specs on the automatic tailgate locks. However, at a $26,000 savings to the residents of Noblesville, we're, as a department, willing to make a concession on that. So it's my recommendation to the board to award to Best Equipment at $305,643.33.
I would move for approval that we accept Best for the truck.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thanks, James.
Thank you, Board.
And thank you, bidders. Is there any further business in front of the board? Mr. Matt Light.
Thank you, members of the board. Appreciate the opportunity to add a comment and an additional expression of appreciation to Jillian Cook for her contributions this summer. Mr. Hughes said it well, but I'd just like to echo and expand upon those. As you saw from the work that she did with the purchasing policy, she jumped in and really moved the ball down the field on several projects with complexity, and she did it really with a great attitude and demeanor, which much appreciated. We had a decent sense, based on knowing her parents and all that they have done and continue to do to serve the community, that she would be a good addition, but you've even exceeded those expectations. So just wanted to say much appreciation. Good luck at school. We hope that she might come back here in the future. And I think Mr. Cook might be one of the 4 that's watching online. So hi, Steve. And,
Hey, Steve.
And we will see you soon. But thanks again, Jillian.
Hi, Marnie, too.
No further business in front of the board. We are adjourned. Thank you for attending.